I'm burning up for you.
The Golden Butterfly. Oh, look at this obvious happy scene that's about to play. I'm sure it's not going to be exactly like the last murder. Oh, I dropped my keys. That's the worst thing that's going to happen tonight. Oh, never mind.
Galloway. Got it, Skipper. Yeah, I'll bring him. He's my partner, after all.
What have we got?
New case. White female dumped in plain sight in the grass at the end of Hill Street. Hacks are all over it. Captain's trying to fend them off.
That sounds awfully similar.
The first rule of police work is make no assumptions until you've seen the evidence. Skipper wants you to have your newspaper face on, college boy. I think I know the place where they found the lady. It overlooks Sunset Boulevard.
Right.
Let's go.
So before starting this one up today, turns out another patch got pushed out for this one in early December. It's a rather large one. It was like 6 gigs, which is not what I expect for a game that's already a remaster, but whatever. I'm not entirely sure what it did, but I mean, we've seen that the game hasn't been like perfect visually. Not to say it's been bad. Just like little weird things in the environment, bugging out and whatnot. I'll drive us there.
Did a decent job on the head.
Just get into Rex right away.
Not bad for your first time at bat.
Thanks, Rusty.
But don't go getting ahead of yourself. That's one clearance under your belt. Now it's a new day with a new dead lady that needs our attention.
And no assumptions until we see the evidence, right?
Right. See, I knew you were a fast learner, Phelps. We might get along after all.
Oh, fuck. I seem to recall this one's actually above me. And you can tell by the mini-map that it's actually above me. That's right. I forgot how to get up there. Okay. Another thing about this game is that it is a pain in the ass to edit. And I think that has to do with the new Elgato card. Just things go out of sync for some reason from time to time. And I have to freaking manually fix it. It's super annoying. Alright, I take it that this hill is going to get me up to where I need to be. This does not look like a legal turn, but whatever. Also, this was not very far from our station. Let's make a little... Oh, this is kind of well hidden. It's on a back alley. There we are. Crime scene.
Now, boys, you know as much as I do. I'll be holding a press conference once the autopsy's been completed. I have 2 of my finest investigators on the case, fresh from bringing down the sword of justice on the crazed sex...
Captain, aren't there similarities between this murder and the murder of Celine Henry? And of Elizabeth Short, for that matter.
So you don't believe there's a crazed sex killer at large preying on women?
Boys, be sensible. We have the greatest police force in all the world, with the greatest scientific investigators at our disposal. How can any killer continue to be that? Be advised. We keep the gas chamber at San Quentin primed for the sons of Cain who continue to believe they can take a life in the City of Angels.
Yeah, right. Any new leads in the Dahlia case?
Run along, boys, and let these officers get to work. We have God's work to do here, and it can't be delayed.
What do we have, Captain?
Another woman sacrificed. Speak to Carruthers. I want daily reports, gentlemen.
All right, Donnelly. That's his name, right? Sounds Irish, so I think that's his name.
I was first on scene.
We get any closer?
You find her, Gonzalez?
Not me. A family out
This
for
is the
a
guy
stroll.
from
I was first reporting.
Fallen
Can
Idol.
you show me the body?
It's under the pepper tree, this way.
Ooh, pepper tree.
So what's going on?
I'm sure
over
this
there?
won't be gross and graphic again. The clue music's already starting. We're not even in like the little fence yet.
Can't be much help to you, Phelps.
Thanks, Ray. I can't remember what Ray's job technically
She
is. What was that? Well, we already got footprints, shoe prints.
The stomping angle in the Henry case, was it reported in the press?
Sure was. Every detail a copycat would want was there in the story. Similar MO.
To what? The Dahlia?
Oh, yeah.
Celine Henry.
That's a closed case. This is probably another sad sack who lost his temper with a broad who wouldn't put out.
Are you a suspect, Rusty?
Watch your mouth, Phelps. All I'm saying is we got enough to do without reopening closed cases.
Talk me through it, Mal.
Severely battered, on display. Footprints would indicate that she has been stomped. Size of the footprints would seem to indicate a smallish men's shoe. What size shoe did Mendez wear?
8.
You finished?
No, I'm not. At a glance, I would say strangulation was the cause of death. I'll need to do further tests for semen.
Angry boyfriend. If they were married, they'd be at home, not humping out here in Lover's Lane.
You mind if I examine the body?
Be my guest.
Boo doo doo. Be my guest. Chime music immediately goes off. Let's look at her purse first. Alright, we got a $5 bill. What
The motive was robbery.
was that
Why
sound?
not take the money?
Y'all heard that, right? That was weird. Like, I heard it in my ear and I was like, is something in my setup freaking out? Then I realized, like, no, I can only hear game audio right now.
Well, we have a
That
name.
was fucking weird.
Can you run Deirdre Muller by RNI?
Back in a second.
Anything else in here? No. Yeah, I was gonna make a comment about how $5 is probably a lot. You buy lots of ravioli and spaghetti sauce or whatever the fuck that one restaurant was selling. Is there anything else around here? Oh, nope, that's garbage. Thankfully, I can just back right out of it. Just let that texture load in
I doubt it.
on this box of cigarettes. I think that's what it was. Alright, let's check out the body. Hope there's nothing else I missed in the environment, but wouldn't shock me.
What's this mark? A cut on a finger.
Fourth finger, left hand. A wedding or engagement ring. Violently
I could have
removed.
told you that, Cole. Oh. There we go.
Looks like she was tied up.
He does it first, but that would leave a mark on her other wrist, too. I think her watch might have been torn off.
Okay. So 2 missing jewelry items. She doesn't have any lipstick on her, right? But she has stomp prints. Whoops. Meant to go for the face. Just move you around a little bit.
Just when I think I've seen it all.
Strangulation.
Look at your mark. It's very...
Distinctive. I'll do some comparisons back at the lab and get back to you.
Alright, that's everything. Wonder if I have to call someone?
Detectives, RNI says that Deirdre Mahler of 130 North Bonnie Bray was reported missing this morning by her husband, Hugo Mahler.
What'd I tell you? Let's grab the husband, take him downtown, and work him over. We could have this wrapped up by lunchtime.
Shut up, Rusty.
What about not making assumptions and going on the evidence?
Also, I don't know if I had killed my wife, if I'd call her in missing immediately. I don't know. I'm not married, nor have I tried to kill my wife. That doesn't exist. Alright, thankfully we haven't been to any bars yet, so Rusty, you should be good to drive to this one.
You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
Look at that pigeon tech.
Still might be some playing the boyfriend angle.
I thought we were on our way to lock up the husband.
If he doesn't work out, that is.
Deirdre Muller has suffered enough. More than enough. You shouldn't make disparaging comments about her without even the slightest inkling of what she was like.
She was a woman, wasn't she? Well, around about my third divorce, I realized women might not be the pure angels we imagine. You're married, ain't you, Phelps?
Don't make any insinuations about my wife.
Hey, she's a woman.
She's the mother of my children.
You're a father, Cole? But don't tell me your eye don't bend.
This conversation is over.
Oh, it would never bend. Never, ever. That's actually right. I just kind of realized LA Noire has this weird problem with like trying to LP it. So at the beginning of what should be this video, we saw Cole hanging out at the Blue Room. That should be at the beginning of this video, but for me, I didn't see that like just now. I saw that 3 or 4 days ago whenever I last played this. And that's because like if you shut the game off like at the wrong time, like if you turn it off like right at the result screen or whatever and you think it's saved, then it could just like sometimes skip those scenes that start in between, like that are right in between the start of cases. It's weird. So it's like, it makes recording this game extra hard to where like I have to record extra footage at the end of the cases just in case like the next time I come back to the game and I load it up, if it doesn't play that scene, which it didn't. So dumb. Like, we already missed one flashback from his military career, but luckily it wasn't important.
LAPD. Is your father home?
He'll be home soon. He's been out looking for Mommy.
What's your name, miss?
Michelle Eloise Mahler?
Can we come in?
I suppose so.
Thank you.
This is like the weirdest character.
Do you have a seat for me, Michelle?
Okay, so I don't know if this little girl was like actually face capped or if they like face capped an older model or like an older actor to put on her.
We're gonna have a look around.
Maybe it's just like the look of the 40s, but like her face looks like way more mature than it should for someone her age. It's like a little off-putting. Oh, what was that? Okay, it's the vegetables. I honestly don't remember what's in this house.
Partner will explain everything when he gets back, okay?
Not this glass. I know that there's something here. Oh, no, this is her room, isn't it? I'm gonna guess by the violin. Here we go. The boots, that's what we want. Size 8.
Work boots. Size 8.
There's something else. Honestly, don't remember.
No sign of a wedding ring.
Maybe a bracelet?
Elgin wristwatch. Probably the same one snatched from her body.
It's a little speculative, but whatever. Alright, I've been looking forward to this interview all game.
Is this about Mommy? Daddy is trying to find her. Please tell me she's okay.
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Michelle, but your mother is dead. Do you think you could answer a few questions for us?
Could try.
Oh, that was fast. Oh, I don't even know how you write a scene like that. I would never want to. Alright. Let's ask about last contact with the victim.
When did you last see your mother?
Yesterday afternoon. I went to a dance at Belmont High. Mommy was supposed to pick me up, but she didn't show.
So what did you do then?
I was upset. Daddy came instead.
All right, I know for a fact that this girl has 0 questions in her interrogation, in her interview, in which she lies. I don't believe she does. Yeah, it's either truth or doubt every time. But I know in one of the questions that Cole asked her, and I don't know which one, if you accuse her, it gets a little ridiculous. So I'm going to accuse her every time and then back out just to see what Cole says.
You're feeling guilty about this, Michelle. What were you up to that you missed your mother?
You're crazy. I was waiting out front exactly where she asked me to be. Ask my teacher if it isn't so.
Okay, it wasn't that one.
Sorry. Sometimes you have to shake the tree to see what falls out.
Yeah, that's the best one. We had to wait like 9 parts for that.
So you were hanging around the school for quite a while. What happened with your father?
I don't know. I called and finally he answered. He came straight away then.
Some of your mother's jewelry was missing. Can you describe her things?
A ring, a watch. I never paid much attention to that stuff.
You liar!
Why don't you tell the truth, Michelle? Something really bugs you about your mother's jewelry.
You really are horrible, you know that? What makes you think that?
Okay, still not quite the one I want.
Looks like I made a mistake.
I've never actually seen it, but I've heard about it, so hopefully it wasn't being exaggerated. She's telling the truth.
I know it's painful, Michelle, but this may be important. She wore a wedding ring?
Mommy chose it herself. A rose gold wedding band and a matching diamond and ruby engagement ring.
She wore a watch?
Yes, a yellow gold Elgin watch. Daddy bought it for her birthday. We had a fight. It was kind of a makeup present.
Your mom and dad are happily married?
What are you saying? Of course they are.
I think your father was violent with your mother. I think they weren't very happy, and you should tell me, young lady.
You may be the police, but you have no right to talk about my mom and dad like that.
Ah.
It's nothing personal. I'm just doing my job. You understand that?
Oh, those were pretty disappointing. I wanted him to like just scream in her face. I wanted him to like really get in there.
They weren't happy, were they, Michelle? Did your father ever hit your mother?
Just the once. She said she would leave him if he ever did it again. He bought her a brooch pin to make up for it. And he always wore her golden butterfly.
The golden butterfly.
Thanks, Miss Muller. You've been very brave.
Hey! What gives?
Daddy, the police
Go to your
are
room,
here.
please, Michelle. I'll talk to the police.
Daddy, Mommy is gone.
Go to your room, young lady. She's not even out of school. You can't come in here interrogating her like she's
Your
some
wife
kind
was
of...
found murdered this morning.
Found? What?
That's not the word you should have focused on.
But she only...
We have some questions that we would like to ask you.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I'll do my best.
What size shoe do you wear, Mr. Muller?
Why do you ask?
It's routine, sir. Simple process of elimination.
9s, I think.
Jesus Christ.
Why are you lying to me, Mr. Muller?
Why would I lie to you at a time like this?
That's a really good like lie response too. That one's like really natural. I'm pretty sure I lie like that. Where is it? The boots.
That's funny. The work boots we found here are size 8s. Why lie about it if you've got nothing to hide?
Because I always get teased about the size of my feet. You know, small feet, small...
Always been true in mine.
Shut up, Rusty. Don't need your input right now.
So you were here all night. You stayed in while your wife went out to pick up your daughter?
Yes, that's correct.
Just immediately like look down and be like, Nope. No, the daughter told us something, right? She told us Michelle Mueller reports calling home repeatedly with no answer on night of murder. So he's lying.
You should come clean if you're having an affair or if there's something going on.
I told you I was here. Were you saying I wasn't?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
So why did you take so long to answer the phone when your daughter called?
Okay, I went out for a while. I was driving around. It's my way of relaxing.
You phoned in a missing persons report this morning?
Yeah, that's right. My wife didn't come home last night. She left around 9:30. Michelle was out at dance. She called me to let me know that Deidre didn't turn up.
You cannot sit still, can you?
Did your wife ever go out by herself? To bars, nightclubs?
No. What are you suggesting? You suggesting my wife's loose? Now is not the time for you to be pushing me, mister.
Your daughter said you were having an argument.
We argued about who would pick up Michelle. I worked a full day. I wanted to come home, put my feet up.
Your wife was beaten and then strangled. In your case, you have no alibi and a history of violence towards your wife.
That's not true, God damn it.
It is true, Hugo. You're a violent man. You try to keep a lid on it at home, but sometimes you lost control. Your daughter and your wife were scared of you.
You don't know anything about me.
Well, actually, no, I guess that doesn't work. It's the brooch, but technically the daughter told us that the watch was also a gift from a fight, though I don't think that one was necessarily physical.
I know about the golden butterfly, Hugo, and how you bought your wife off the last time you heard her.
She liked to spend money, all right? Dresses, jewelry, her hair. It drove me goddamn crazy. Do I look like a Rockefeller?
No.
Nobody likes a cheapskate.
No one likes you, Rusty.
Getting hostile with us is a very bad idea, Hugo.
I'm no murderer.
Make some arrangements for your daughter, and then present yourself to Central Station for questioning.
You gotta be kidding me, Phelps. Put the cuffs on him.
This is an outrage. I didn't kill my wife.
Your daughter is in the next room, Mueller, so I'm giving you a break. Don't make me change my mind, and don't make me come looking for you.
We should go back in there and bust his ass.
1, we need to break his alibi. Check phone records, canvass the neighbors. 2, we have motive of domestic violence, which probably goes for half the men in L.A. 3, we have no evidence tying him to the crime scene.
Hello, detective.
Just make sure no one runs me over. All right, Snoopy lady.
Yes, ma'am.
I heard the terrible news over the radio.
And you can help us with our inquiries?
Yes, sir. They had a row last night. I heard Mrs. Mueller screaming.
Did you see Mrs. Mueller come home late last night at all?
No, not at all. I did see Mr. Mueller put something in the incinerator earlier this morning, though.
Suspicious.
I told you he was our guy. Now let's get this bum downtown and into a cell.
Look,
This is one of the
there
best
he is
things
now.
in the entire game. Look at this motherfucker try to incinerate like evidence right now. We haven't even pulled away from his house.
Step away from the incinerator. Don't let him get away.
Okay, but no shooting. We need this guy to make...
I wonder if I can shoot him.
Lock him up and throw away the...
Oh, you're done, son. Spear.
This doesn't look good, Hugo.
We hadn't even pulled
I can explain
away.
the blood.
Get him booked in at Central, officer. Then put him in an interview room. We'll be speaking with him later. And inform the captain.
Yes, sir, detective.
Is there someone you can call, miss?
I don't... No one's home and...
You need somewhere to stay, Michelle. You have other family? Grandparents? Aunts or uncle?
Call Aunt Helen, but She lives in Bakersfield and...
Call her. We're gonna get someone down here from Juvenile Hall to talk to you in the meantime.
What a hero you are, Cole.
We got to get some uniforms down here, clean up, take care of the kid.
All right, but I need to make a call.
Mother would be proud of him, catching all those criminals.
Galloway.
Phelps,
homicide
badge
division,
1247.
564.
Go ahead, Detective. Detective.
Did we get Ray Pinker?
I need an address on a Belmont High School.
This is awkward. We're talking over each other. Let's all three of us
Send someone
talk.
down from Juvenile Hall to look after a young lady.
1575 West 2nd Street.
Thanks, ma'am.
All right, we know where the school is.
Price is outrageous.
Inform Detective Phelps that the coroner has a report waiting. Police morgue downtown when he's available.
Got it, KGPL.
Return to morgue.
Has socks. You know the way. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we
I
headed?
think we're going to the morgue. Hope this is the optimal way to do this.
I'm surprised, you know. I didn't make the husband for it.
Always make the husband, Phelps. 9 times out of 10, it's the closest person to the Vic who does the deed. God knows I've wanted to kill some wives in my day.
Lex parsimoniae.
What?
The law of parsimony. Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is most likely the correct one.
You know, you could have said that without getting all liturgical on me.
I'll try to dumb things down from now on.
Appreciate it. And try this one on for size. Rusty's razor.
How's that go?
You blame the guy that's banging her.
Ah, of course. The famous Lex ignoramus.
Closes cases, Cole. Puts a lot of people away, that one.
Oh, yeah. That's what's important. Conviction rate, not finding the right person. But hey, police work in the first half of the 21st century. 20th. Damn it. This is the second time we've gotten that establishing shot of that sign. That's your time to go see Carruthers sign.
Phelps, Rusty, thanks for coming.
Can you blood type the shoes that we bagged and see if they're a match?
Sure. It'll all be in the report, but I'm assuming you want the details now?
Please. Cause of death is strangulation?
Correct. Take a look at the samples on the bench.
Also, there's a phone call to make here? No, I believe the correct matching one is the third one.
What are the normal uses for that kind of rope?
On boats, mooring lines.
Correct. Although Ray says that they're sometimes used as bell ropes in churches.
So are we looking for a sailor or a minister?
Well, in my experience, sailors seem to have the greater libido.
Was Mrs. Muller criminally attacked?
No external or internal traces of semen.
Thanks, Mal. Anything else comes up, you let us know.
That last line by Cole was like weird. It was kind of like delivered oddly.
The shoe prints?
Size 8s. Very similar to the impressions from the Henry case.
Now, who do we remember got caught in bloody size 8s? I think we have our bird.
Why is the clue music not going away? It's not the body.
We've got to nail this guy.
Okay, if you're finished jawing, we need to get moving.
Wonder if I have to look at all the stupid ropes for it to go away. Oh, nope, that did it. Excuse me, Carruthers. So go over into your office. I assume this is his office. Does it say it on, like, the door or something? Yeah, coroner. They didn't put his name on it, but that's good enough. Okay, this is a little cramped. Excuse me.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Putting you through now.
Oh, I love her. She's the best.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Are there any messages for me?
Yes, Detective. A green 1946 coupe
registered to Mrs. Hugo Mueller, has been found in the parking lot adjoining Belmont High School and playing fields. Captain Donnelly wants you to head down there immediately to take the school janitor's statement.
Thanks for your help.
All right, to the school. Come on, Rusty.
You're behind the wheel.
And where exactly are we going?
I wonder if Rusty has like a idle animation where he has like a flask. Feels like the kind of character that would.
Not exactly the happiest of places, the coroner's office.
Carruthers is a good man, professional, diligent. If you're working with a pro, it's easy to overlook the grim realities of a place like that.
Funny job, that, the coroner's.
How so?
You know, you don't want them enjoying their work too much. The wrong kind of man can get awfully lonely rattling around a joint full of corpses.
Rusty, that's like something out of the pulps.
You been reading the same ones as me?
I thought you were usually too drunk to get through.
Burn.
You know, if I close one eye and squint, you can just about make out the print.
Oh, roasted. Cole Phelps with a deep burn there. Alright, let's check out this high school. I'm sure nothing stupid's gonna happen here.
This is the car?
Yes, sir, Detective.
Have you looked it over?
Superficially. I was told to wait for you guys.
Thanks. We'll take it from here. What time did you see the
Whoa,
person
that was a
park the
weird
car?
cut.
Late last night, after school social, maybe 1 a.m. I've been keeping a good eye out lately. We've had problems with the child molester.
And this was the same man?
I don't know, sir. I mean, I'd like to say yes, but truth is, it was pretty dark.
All right. Tell me about this man you've been having trouble with.
He hangs near the playground, tries to befriend the children. He was around here last night before the dance.
Is he violent?
Yes, sir, I would say so, yes.
So dumb.
There's the son of a bitch now. Hey, you!
Go, Phelps. I'll take the car and see if
Oh, it's so stupid that it's just like, oh, there he is. I did not mean to clear that hurdle. Now, luckily, I have a rough idea of like where he's going, so I could take an optimal path there. But this fucking football equipment's getting in my way. It just cracks me up that he's like being a stereotypical creepy child molester in like broad daylight where he's like crouching down and looking at us from far away. Oh, this is not going as well as it did the first time I played the game. I got him at that intersection. Maybe he's faster. Maybe he has new tech. He has new child molester tech on him. Get back here, you son of a bitch. I'm Cole Phelps. I'm morally obligated to protect all child molesters.
What's your name?
Who's asking?
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Name's Eli Rooney.
You've been in trouble with the law before, Eli?
Some.
What are you doing around here?
I like to keep an eye on the children.
Strictly paternal, is it, Eli?
Don't sass me, boy.
A woman was abducted here last night, Eli, and murdered.
And I would love to make you for that, you oaky motherfucker.
Well, I wouldn't know nothing about that. A woman, you say? I like 'em a little younger than that.
Turn out your pockets, Eli.
Now, why would I do that?
Because I'm about to break your fucking skull, Eli.
The golden butterfly.
You're under arrest, Eli. You are in very deep trouble.
Why bother with the paperwork, Eli? I'm going to take out my gun, and I'm going to count to 5. Let's see how fast you can run now.
Hang on a goddamn minute. I found that thing in the parking lot.
Get some backup
Yeah,
out here, Rusty.
he pulled out
We
his
need to get this
gun,
one
too.
downtown and into a cell.
I'll tell them we got a kitty raper coming in. They can roll out the red carpet.
Well, there's the rope.
Blood and skin samples. We better get Ray Pinker out here.
Okay, so that's what Pinker does.
It's from a Chrysler.
could be important.
And finally,
The overalls are stenciled HM. Mueller is a mechanic. I wonder what Eli does for a living.
da-da-da. All right, we got another call to make. Ooh, this is pretty. This game's holding up super well. It actually does feel like the patch changed some stuff. Feels like I see less weird bullshit in the environment, like shadows freaking out and whatnot.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need interrogation set up at Central for both suspects being held in the Mueller homicide case.
Certainly, Detective. I'll get in touch with the watch commander.
Thank you. Can you drive to this one?
All right, we're going to Central.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Ooh, this is a cool song.
I say we make Rooney for this. I think we should lay it on him. He was near the car, he had her jewelry, the DA will love him for it.
Even if he didn't do it?
Who cares whether he did it? You have kids, Phelps? He needs to be taken permanently out of harm's way.
And we let Mueller slide?
For a while. He gets a free pass for now.
That is so not how the justice system should work. And besides, like, I don't know, I think I'd rather put a murderer behind bars than a child rapist, as terrible as the latter is. Especially if the murderer's the one guilty for the murder.
You better not go soft on me in here, Phelps.
We'll work the evidence, Rusty. Let him do the rest. Are they ready?
Bowler's in 2 and the pervert's in 1. Get in there and get a conviction.
I think we gotta start with Mueller. You can start either way, but I think like the intended way is to start with Mueller.
Here's where we stand, Hugo. Your next-door neighbor heard screaming coming from your house. You were burning your blood-stained shoes. You have no one who can confirm your whereabouts last night. Your daughter says you're a violent man. We have everything we need to send you to death row, and all you have to say for yourself is, I didn't do it.
I swear I didn't kill her. Give me that lie test. I can prove it.
Why did you burn your shoes, Hugo?
Because I knew you'd never believe me.
Yeah, you're right. I don't believe you.
Believe what?
It's rabbit's blood. A guy at work brought them in and I helped him skin them.
Do you know anything about ropes, Hugo?
As much as the next man. I was a scout. I learned some more in the army.
Why are you looking so nervous about this if you didn't kill your wife?
You learned to strangle with the rope in the army?
With rope, with my bare hands, but mainly with wire. I learned a lot of things in the army, but I still didn't kill my wife.
For argument's sake, what type of rope would you use?
If I had to, I would use a triple braid. Less flex, easier to control.
Man, I would not have played along with those questions.
Your wife was beaten with a tire iron, Hugo. An appropriate choice of tool for a mechanic.
I know nothing about any tire iron.
Okay, so we have the bloody tire iron. Man. When we picked it up, Cole said that it belonged to a Chrysler. But does Hugo drive a Chrysler? Do they drive... Well, they must drive different cars, right?
You're lying, Hugo. You're gonna have to come clean on this.
You got no proof.
Yeah, I'm sure this is what we're supposed to throw at him, but I can't quite make out the, like, thread in terms of logic. That he had access to a tire iron. Is it because, well, whatever. We know it's involved somehow.
Your wife drove a Chevrolet, Hugo. What make of car do you drive?
Chrysler.
There you go.
Airflow.
So I guess that explains why the tire iron that killed your wife came from a Chrysler.
See, that would make more sense if you had access to that information prior to accusing him. If you knew that, I think we did, and I just missed it, like when whoever told us dispatch, whoever said was like, oh, the car's been spotted at the school. I'm sure they said the make and model. And when, I guess they say it's a Chevrolet, and Cole picks up the tire iron, it belongs to a Chrysler. But I don't know. Maybe there's a way to find out that Hugo drives a Chrysler before doing this. Maybe if you checked, like, when he comes home, like after you bust him with the shoes, and like you check whatever he brought with him, if there's a car out front. I don't know.
We found your wife's car. Someone parked it at the school late last night. Do you have anything to say about that?
It wasn't me.
Where do you keep your work clothes?
I keep them at work in my locker.
Enough lies, Hugo. Your overalls put you at the scene of the crime last night.
My overalls are in the laundry of my house.
Doesn't that, like, contradict what you just said? What's the difference between the overalls and his work clothes? And they do have the initials HM on them.
Green overalls, bloodstained, with the initials HM found in the trunk of your wife's car.
They can't be mine.
Why, Hugo? Because if they were yours, they'd be in the incinerator too?
That's a good point. So now you have the option to either charge the suspect or leave the interrogation. We still haven't talked to what's-his-face, Eli Rooney. So we should go do that before we charge this guy. Alright, where's the other room? It's like all the way... Nope, secretary's room. It's over here to the left, maybe? Here we are.
Captain, we were on our way to interview Eli Rooney.
Yes, Phelps, I know. This particular fiend is an old acquaintance. I have tried to reaffirm his belief in a wrathful and terrible God. Whichever way it goes, I'll be dealing personally with him.
So it's...
You look like you've had it rough.
You see me asking for your sympathy, boy?
So yeah, Donnelly came in here and beat this guy up. Super, totally not according to procedure anymore.
What size boot do you wear, Eli?
Kind of like anything I can get my hands on. I'm wearing 11s.
Huh, okay. But we found size 8s at the crime scene, obviously. But why is he being so shifty about this?
You're maybe 5'5", 5'6", tops. And you wear size 11s? I don't think so, Eli.
That might be on the large side. Maybe 10s.
Maybe 8s.
Now that I come to think of it.
Why punish children with your iniquity, Eli?
You think I was never punished?
You must know what you're doing is evil.
Well, son, nobody's perfect.
You down on your luck, Eli?
I've had worse. My family ate roadkill during the Dust Bowl.
But you have a job. A parolee has to have a job, correct?
I had me a job down in San Pedro. I'm looking for something new.
This place you worked have a name?
Hennessy Marine.
And there's the catch.
You can't miss the place. Big yellow letters, HM out front.
They give you any workwear, Eli?
Sure. Green coverall. Dang thing was hot. Felt like I was back in the pen wearing it.
And that's how you get a wrench thrown into the plans regarding the overalls we found.
You ever tie up any of your victims, Eli?
It's not a nice thing to go calling them.
What would you call them?
I can't say. I learned a long time ago not to go talking about the things I like. Talking about it just seems to get people's dander up.
Answer the goddamn question, Rooney, before I brain you.
See what I mean? Short answer is yes.
You have any preference regarding rope, Eli?
I know a good rope from a bad rope, if that's what you mean. That's not what you mean, is it? Any old rope will do me fine.
Damn, look how, like, stone-faced he got immediately.
Farm boy like you, Eli, must prefer McGay for roping. Am I right?
I prefer braid. Tie hitching braid. It stays tied.
You killed Mrs. Muller and stole her jewelry.
That ain't so. I ain't done nothing like that.
You have no job and nowhere to live by the smell of things. And you need money. You've been in trouble before, Eli. Who do you think a jury will believe?
I've been in trouble for other things, but I ain't never killed no one. I saw that car coming to the parking lot late last night. Man got changed there and put his coveralls in the trunk. I saw him drop the butterfly in the lamplight and he strolled out, cool as you like. And I went over and I picked it up.
Alright, so now we have the option to charge either one of them, and it doesn't go any further than this. Now, if it were me, I would charge Hugo Muller, because, I don't know, the evidence just feels like it's heavier against him than it is Eli Rooney, but I know for a fact that if you don't charge Rooney, Donnelly gets super pissed, and he's like, fuck you, Cole, you did a terrible job, Sunny Boy, and whatnot, other stereotypes of his, whatever his actor is. So we gotta charge this kitty raper.
Eli Rooney, I'm charging you with the first-degree murder of Deirdre Muller.
You want to put me back in the stir that badly, boy? You go ahead and try. I'll beat that rat. I ain't a killer.
Phelps, Galloway, congratulations are at hand. Drink, boys? I think you'll receive a commendation for this one, gentlemen. In the meantime, I'll speak to the DA about expediting the passage of the case. We need swift and merciless justice for poor Deirdre.
I'm sure we got it right. Let's get those results. Just a tiny little bit of vehicle damage for the few minutes that I drove. Other than that, perfect case. I actually thought I might have missed a potential clue somewhere, but I did not. Let's look up any potential trivia. I'm sure there's some. There always is on homicide. In the crime scene, the man wearing a blue suit, red and white tie, and green pants is Game Informer journalist Dan Reichert, who visited the studio for a story during production. He is seen in the thumbnail in the video below. Okay, that doesn't help us. If the player heads straight to Belmont High School after arresting Hugo Muller, instead of going to the corners, they will see an alternative cutscene showing Eli Rooney spying on two girls in the parking lot. I've never seen that. Phelps and Galloway will spot him and a chase ensues. After capturing Rooney, a second cutscene will play showing Rusty receiving a call on the car's radio about the victim's automobile being found, and the player will then proceed to interview the janitor and check the trunk of the car. When speaking with the janitor instead of Phelps asking about who the suspected child molester is, he will comment on having already met Rooney and ask the janitor if the man is known to have a violent past. Going through this series of events and skipping the trip to the corners can still earn the player a 5-star rating if they successfully conduct the interview with Rooney and charge him with the murder. Regardless of how the case ends, the opening of the next case, specifically the comments made by Captain Donnelly about the prior case outcome, remains the same. We'll have to remember that for the next one. I think they're positive comments, so I guess that means that there's an inconsistency if you get him to yell at you at the end. The husband of the victim, Hugo Muller, is based on and voice acted by actor Greg Grunberg. Greg Grunberg played Matt Parkman in the TV show Heroes. The green car in the Belmont High School parking lot owned by Deidre Muller is registered under the name of Mrs. Hugo Muller. This can be heard when Rusty reports to KGPL after chasing Eli Rooney. That's a weirdly written sentence. At the initial crime scene, finding Deidre Muller's name tag will trigger a cutscene where Phelps asks Patrolman Gonzalez to run the name by R&I to find her home address. If the player chooses to follow him, the conversation between Gonzalez and the operator can be overheard. In it, R&I tells the officer that there were multiple calls to the LAPD for domestic disturbance. Despite the fact that this is key information, it is not relayed by the patrol officer back to Phelps. You must still obtain it later from Muller's daughter, Michelle. Why are you holding out on us, Gonzalez? What the hell? At the crime scene, Pinker can be killed without repercussion. You can just kill Ray Pinker. What the hell? All right. On to the next one. On to the next totally unrelated murder to our last two murders, right? Goodbye, and see you in the next one.